Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Inga Cotton. I'm the founder and executive director of San Antonio Charter Moms, and these are Charter Moms Chats, and we've been going live to talk with parents about what they need to know to navigate distance learning and to safely get their kids back on campus. And it's getting to be open enrollment season for charter schools. So of all the things that have changed in 2020, one thing that has not changed is the fact that November is a very busy month for when charter schools start taking applications for the next school year. And actually, some schools still do have open seats for the current year. So, but I'm very excited today. We're going to be talking about the School of Science and Technology, which is a network of charter schools. They're here in San Antonio. They're also in Corpus and Houston. And we have Abel De Leon, who I knew as I saw him playing ukulele at the groundbreaking for an SST school on the Northwest side when he was the head of school. So he's been a teacher, he's been a principal, and he's now the director of marketing communications for SST. So I'm so happy he's in this role because he's a great ambassador and storyteller about like what SST does as far as providing the STEM education, but also like the character building, character education. So let's see, Abel, your background. So you've been a teacher and you're a graduate of the University of Texas at Austin. So hook 'em, right?
That's right.
Those are actually where my law degree is from, although it's not the same going for grad school as for undergrad. I'm not quite as burnt orange as some people are. So I'm just really grateful that you're here. Oh, I want to mention that in the description of the video, there's a link to the enrollment guide blog post that we've just updated, and it's got lots of great stuff about SST, and like Abel helped me update it, like talking about the new campus that's coming to Schertz. And I know we've just got so much to talk about, but I don't know, should we just dive into the questions?
Sure.
Okay, so I wanted to ask you about the motto, the better education, better future. And this ties in with, now you wrote a guest post for us on the Teacher Tales series, and you were talking about your family background and like why you chose to work in education. So I was wondering if you could talk about that, that motto, and talk about your own family story.
Sure. Yeah, Inga, it'd be an honor. But before we do that, the first thing I want to do is thank you for having me on, this live chat. It's such an honor to be able to share some of the things we're doing out at School of Science and Technology with your viewers. But even more than that, I want to thank you for what you're doing at SA Charter Moms to give our families in San Antonio the knowledge and skills they need to make informed decisions, to be able to choose the best educational placement for their kids. Every child deserves a high quality choice in education, and I really value what you guys are doing and helping people to make those informed decisions. And so, to talk a little bit about a better education, better future. Something that we really believe in at SST, and it's one of the reasons that I've loved working at SST these past 12, 13 years, something like that. I find a place that really feels like home. I'm real passionate about education because I've seen firsthand, like my blog post says, what it can do for families. Just quickly, and I know people can read the whole blog post if they're interested, but my family came from migrant farm workers. Living on a dirt floor kind of shack and making their own clothes out of flour sacks and things like that because of the poverty. But because my grandfather saw that education was the key that could open all doors when used correctly, as he put it, he really became an advocate for my family. And he would tell all his kids, even if we're only in town for 1 week, you'll all go to school. And so the first stop in every town was the local school. He'd enroll all his kids. And it was real challenging because they didn't even speak English at first, so nothing but hurdles to jump. But because he made it an issue, he would talk about it daily. He demanded that they commit to education. They did. And so they all graduated in the top 10 of their class. They all went on to college. They all got at least a master's degree, and some of them even got doctoral degrees. And so because of that, in one generation, we went from migrant farm workers, with really nothing to our name to solidly in the middle class. And that's great because I got to come up in a much better circumstance than my mother did. And then they gave us that same kind of message, that education is so important. I remember being, elementary age and my mom telling me, you're going to go to college someday. So I want you to start thinking about what college you're going to go to and what you're going to be when you grow up. Because in this family, it's not optional to go to college, just because, you don't have to go past high school. That doesn't mean that we're going to stop at high school. And so I always knew that was something that was in the works for me, that I would go to college and pursue my dreams. And so, if it wasn't for my grandfather being that advocate of education, I could be living a very different life right now. And so, to me, I kind of try to pay it forward because I've seen that a better education can lead to a better future. And so to me, there's nothing more valuable to do with my time, to give me a purpose-driven life, than to be able to be there for other families, to help them be that advocate for their family, the way that Rogerio Gil was for mine. And so, it's something I'm real passionate about. I get a little choked up even thinking about it. But I want to also commend everybody watching this right now. You guys are those people for your family. You're here looking into what are the options for your children, what's going on in education in our community. And I commend you for that. And I know that you're going to see big results out of it. So thank you.
Yeah. I know I'm super grateful for our readers and our online community, because they're all working, to figure this out for their own families. But I know they all care about, if we're all working towards that goal, it lifts up the quality of education in our whole community. And I hope that, your grandparents overcame huge obstacles to get it done, but it had an effect on your family for generations. And I hope that, other families who are also committed to education, that they have more good schools to choose from, and they don't have to, necessarily walk as far, right? Or deal with the barriers that your grandparents did. And that's part of what SST is trying to do, right? Is to make education welcoming, and make it fun for the students who get enrolled.
That's right. And without having to walk uphill in the snow both ways.
That's right. Yeah, no, I can't complain ever about hot weather or things, because my dad grew up picking prunes in the northern Central Valley of California, and he paid his way through college by mowing hay in the summer.
Oh, wow.
It's barely good money, but a very hard work. Oh, that and tending bar for the sorority.
Oh, wow.
But college didn't cost as much back then. But yeah.
A man of many talents, though.
That's true. Yes, he can make a zombie. Apparently, that was the trendy drink back in the late 1950s. So yeah.
Oh.
Okay. So hidden talents, right? But talking about SST, the model of the school, it's meant to bring together these elements of STEM education, but also the character education. And so I was wondering if you could talk more about the curriculum and the school model, and what the schools do to shape students. And I want to again mention that in the description there's a link to the blog post. There's different anecdotes, and there's photos, the photo of the solar car. That thing is amazing.
Yeah, so definitely, we believe in STEM education, and we believe in pairing that with character education. We've embedded both of those things into our core curriculum. So they should kind of be at the heart of everything we do. And as our teachers are doing planning, they're planning with these things in mind, making sure that we not only have hands-on science, technology, engineering, mathematics involved into even our English language arts and everything, but also character development. There's character lessons in everything if you really look hard enough, and you can turn things into teachable moments. So we do that in all our classes, but then we also have an actual class we call character educational development that our students take. And in that class, they learn all about, character development, and they work on developing excellent character. And, we think it's important because of the benefits that it bestows onto the children we serve. Studies have shown that people who receive STEM educations end up making more money than their non-STEM educated counterparts, even in the same industry. And, I think that makes perfect sense, even on the face of it. If you think about maybe two lawyers, right? One lawyer with the STEM education and one lawyer with a more classical, less STEM education, let's say, and they're maybe pouring through documents to find when phone calls were made from this number to that number, like you see in all those movies. And you got a law degree, so Inga, but I think a STEM educated lawyer might be able to write a quick little program that scans through all the documents and lickety split, they're done with that. Whereas someone without those knowledge and skills is going to have to spend hours, maybe days, maybe have a whole team kind of poring over those documents to get the exact same result. And so it's easy to see how a STEM education is going to be invaluable nowadays. And we think that with that STEM education, is going to come those high pay, high prestige jobs of tomorrow. We think that with those skills, the students that we serve are going to end up taking leadership roles in the industries and professions of their dreams and their choices. But if they are going to be kind of the leaders of tomorrow, then we think we as a school also have an ethical responsibility to make sure that our students are of the highest moral character, because they're the ones that are going to kind of be determining what the future is like. And we don't just believe in a better education; we believe in a better education for a better future. And we think that character education is one of the things that's going to help bring on that better future.
Yeah, no, my observation syncs up with yours as far as like having the STEM education background and like being an analytical thinker, and like it's a way of problem solving, and it applies to. I mean, I'm an analytical thinker, even though like I'm a writer. But when I do research and when I'm trying to make a persuasive argument, it's very much like what I do when I'm coding, right? It's like logic is logic, whether you're using the language of a programming language or whether you're using the English language to build a persuasive argument. It's all good stuff. It's a good education for so many different purposes. So, and I want to mention a little preview. Like, so we have in the works a guest post about character education. So that's going to come out later this month. So thank you for coordinating with that. And we've had just an amazing amount of guest posts. I was looking back through, like we've had I think at least 4. We've had already 4 different guest posts that SST teachers wrote for us over the summer that we shared in the sort of Charter Voyage of Learning guide. So I was wondering if you could like kind of comment on like, I mean, you saw those as they kind of went through the pipeline, like, maybe pick an example and talk about like, how that's an example of what happens at SST. I mean, I was just so impressed with these teachers, like how dedicated they are and how creative they are and how they would combine like, the STEM activities, but also like, the social emotional learning and, and talking about feelings and communication.
Oh yeah, Inga. So first, let me say, I'm what you would call a longtime listener, first time caller. I'm definitely a fan of the SA Charter Moms and what you guys are doing. And I've definitely been seeing not only these, but other posts from teachers from other schools. And I think there's a lot of great stuff going on in education in San Antonio, and that kind of stuff kind of fills my sails with wind and gives me hope that we're making some big pushes in education that's gonna take America back to the top of the list of places with a great education. But to kind of answer your question, I'll say that I think that all of y'all had one on magnetism and on children teaching adults and things like that. And I think that all of those are great examples of what we do at SST, kind of the SST way, if you want to call it that, because they're student-centered, they're hands-on, they revolve around kind of purposeful play, so that students can learn in the way that feels natural to them. Since the dawn of humanity, children have been kind of inquisitive and explorative creatures that learn by engaging with things, especially things that they find interesting, that they're kind of intrinsically drawn to. And they experiment with it through what we call purposeful play. And in doing so, they're learning about the world. And I think they're also great examples of the SST way, because they're delivered in the format that you're providing here to parents. And so that allows parents to be a true kind of full partner in their child's development and education. And that's part of the SST way too. We say that what really supports our children at SST schools is the parent, student, teacher triad, right? And the triangle is the strongest shape in nature. And so we think what better than the strongest shape in nature to support the foundation of our students' learning. And so, I think they're all great examples of the SST way. You mentioned the Solar Rover Challenge earlier. You got some pictures there. So let me talk a little bit about that. That's something we did when I was the principal out at Northwest. And it was really an amazing thing and something that I know I'll remember for the rest of my life. But it really sums up the SST way. What we did is we had every student, pre-K and kinder, their teachers kind of built a solar car with them, and they did it in little groups. But for first grade and up, those kiddos each made their own solar car. So of course they're learning about, engineering and solar technologies. So that's great. But it's not just that, right? It's about embedding STEM into everything. And so for like a month out from the main event, as we were calling it, the Solar Rover Challenge, we had teachers teaching lessons kind of incorporating those solar rovers. things that are maybe less obvious than learning about solar technology and everything, right? So, for example, I know they were working on persuasive writing is one I really remember well. And so the teacher had the students write either like a fictitious GoFundMe page where it's like, hey, I've developed this solar rover technology, like let's fund it, and here's how it can, provide utility in city living and things like that. Or they could pretend they already had the product out and it's a big press release about how it's going to be available. So that's persuasive writing, like I'm saying, working it into the arts. They were doing like mean, median, and mode in one of the math classes. And so they were kind of measuring how far everyone's car would go and kind of see what the mean, median, and mode was in that way. So it becomes very hands-on, right? All kinds of really great stuff, even like the history class, kind of comparing, the solar kind of and electric cars coming about in a big way in the near future here. How's that going to shape the world? If we look at kind of how Henry Ford kind of creating that Model T and making it available to everybody, that really changed our world. There wasn't a gas station on every corner before that, right? And so, urban sprawl, all these things were kind of derivatives of the ability of us to travel with the internal combustion engine. So what's it going to look like in this next iteration? So a lot of really great stuff, but it's not even just that, because what we also did is we partnered with Mission Solar. Mission Solar, still grateful to them. Great company. They partnered with us and they sent over some of their solar engineers to be kind of coaches, but also they judged the big events on the big day and brought out solar panels and a little solar house powered by solar, so our kids could really get into the whole solar teaching at that. And then, of course, the piece that I haven't discussed yet is that in the parent, student, teacher, triad is the parents. And so what's really cool is we did it, around the winter time. And so we gave it this whole theme that it was the Santa's solar team, or Santa's sleigh team, I'm sorry, I think is what we called it. And so SST. And we set up this whole premise that the kiddos were doing these solar rover tests and everything to kind of help Santa, who wanted to replace his sleigh, from reindeer power to solar power. And so the parents, we provided them with little protest signs that they were kind of the reindeer protesting to kind of keep their jobs with Santa. And, I dressed up as an elf. I'm not above dressing up as an elf, Inga. But we had a great time. We raced the solar rovers. We had different challenges for aesthetic qualities and different things on the rovers too, so that it wasn't just about which one was the fastest or anything. There was different events that our kids competed in that big main event, and it was really great because I guess it's kind of like with Caesar's 100 Days of Games, right? It gave our whole community, our whole school, one singular thing to kind of really focus on and talk to each other. And, not only did our kids get that whole well-rounded STEM education, but the character element really comes in too, because everybody was able to be talking about the same thing, everybody was kind of engaged in the same thing. It made it really easy for all of our students to really make new friends, right? It's like when you go to college and you can ask anybody, so what's your major? And it's like ultimate icebreaker. During the Solar Rover Challenge, you could go up to anybody and just say, hey, what's your Solar Rover look like? Or what are you doing with your Solar Rover? And so just I think that really sums up what I would consider the gold standard of the SST way.
Yeah, no, it sounds like a complete experience, right? It's STEM education, but it infuses all the different subjects of the class, and it sounds like just a great community builder and like something that everyone can participate in and get excited about. So yeah, I love the pictures. I encourage folks to like click through, like check the blog post and see those great photos. Yeah, and I guess so. Talking about SST Northwest, it gets me thinking about I remember the groundbreaking and. I know I haven't been to that many in-person events lately, but I know that like there's still construction going on and there's growth. So I was wondering if you could talk about like how the SST network, at least in San Antonio, is growing. Like there are campuses adding more grade levels. There's new campuses opening. There's like buildings under construction. So what's the picture with for growth?
Yeah, well, Inga, we've been really blessed that the San Antonio community has continued to trust us since 2005 with their most valued resource, right, their child. And so we're growing and we're continuing to grow right now. We've got a few new campuses in the works. One of the things I'm really excited about is our new high school campus that's going to replace our existing high school campus, SST San Antonio. That one was our very first school. That's where I started out when we only had one school. We didn't even really dream of growing necessarily back then. It was just about getting kids ready for college and making sure they didn't have to take remedial classes. But because of the roads that we laid and the work that we did, people came and asked us to start growing, and how can we deny it? The more kids that we can touch, the better. And so that campus was actually in an old furniture store. It's a tiny little campus compared to what we're building nowadays. Our new state of the art campuses. So I'm really excited that SST San Antonio is going to be moving to a brand new. I'm talking the kind of campus looks to me like in the movies. You see the high schools in the movies, and you're saying this has got to be a college. What high school looks like this?
Okay, so tangent, but like the Spider-Man movie, like that was set at a magnet school, and I was like, oh, this is like what everybody thinks a charter school looks like on the inside.
Yeah, Into the Spider-Verse. I know exactly what you're talking about. So we got our own Into the Spider-Verse SST now, but we're talking like outdoor amphitheater and like a stepped seating area. I mean, just beautiful state-of-the-art campus. That's going to be ready next year. That's going to be right near Morgan's Wonderland, kind of at the intersection of Thousand Oaks and Wurzbach Parkway. And then, more on this side of town, this side of town to me, I'm near Northwest right now. But on the northwest side of town, let me say, we've got a high school in the works. Right now, the plan is that next year, the Hill Country campus, our newest campus in the northwest side, because right now, they're just starting out, they're growing. We've got plenty of space in there. We're going to go ahead and house 9th grade so that all of the 8th graders from SST Discovery, SST Hill Country, and SST Northwest can kind of feed into that high school there, and they can keep that STEM and character education going while we build a brand new amazing building for them out here on this side of town too. So that'll be really exciting, having those two dueling amazing buildings for our high schools. And then for the younger kiddos, we've got another campus coming out in Schertz. So if you're watching from the Schertz area, definitely look into it. Right now, we're going to be accepting, or we are accepting right now, actually, pre-K through 2nd grade, and then also 5th grade. And then we're going to expand those offerings as fast as we can in the near future. Depends on how much interest we're getting out of the community. So again, definitely, if you're in the Schertz area, you want to check that one out too.
Yeah. Oh, I noticed we've gotten some comments. I always like to pop these on screen.
Hey, Miss Boette, I'm glad you're watching. Miss Boette, a great VIP, as we call them. I don't know, very involved parents.
And then this is a family that's doing distance learning.
Hey, Miss Riley, how you doing? Oh, there's a lot of friendlies watching now, and I'm glad you guys are joining us.
Yeah, that's part of what's fun about doing these live. It's getting like right. It's like the community is tuned in, and actually that brings me. So one of those families mentioned that they were doing distance learning. So can you talk about sort of like during COVID, right? Like some students are doing distance learning, some kids are coming back on campus. Are there things that you want families to know about? About how SST is responding to COVID and keeping students safe?
Yeah, so we're doing all kinds of things. I know all the schools out there are doing everything we can to make sure that our kiddos are safe. Great education is one thing, but if you kind of think about Maslow's hierarchy of needs, safety is going to trump everything. So we got to make sure that it's safe first, so that our families can focus on getting a better education. You can't really get that great life-changing education if you're kind of worried that the other shoe is going to drop or somebody's going to fall ill. So we're doing everything we can to keep it really safe. In terms of safety, I'll quickly say we definitely have ordered enough face masks and face shields for our students and for our teachers. We put up plexiglass barriers where we needed them. Right now, we're installing touch-free soap and towel dispensers in all the restrooms. The students go to assigned restrooms so that if there is a case at some point, it won't be spread throughout the whole school. We've kind of got it potted up. Students aren't changing classrooms right now. They're actually the teachers are rotating into Zoom sessions with them. We've got an asynchronous distance learning program that's got a bunch of synchronous touch points so that, our kiddos can ask teachers questions as if they were in the class. Even if they're not. And so I think that's great. I love the idea of that equity where even our kids who are staying at home are able to engage not only with their teachers, but also with their fellow students to make sure they can keep that school connectedness going, that feel that they're part of, a student body. And so we have what we call whole group sessions and things where our kids kind of more interact with each other is the purpose of those. But and of course, hand washing built into the schedule, temperature checks to come in, the hand washing breaks, all the stuff. In terms of how we're delivering the academics too, another thing we've done is we've ordered a 1-to-1 ratio of devices. So this iPads and Chromebooks. And actually right now, I'm happy to say that we just got another big shipment of Chromebooks in. We're getting those out to the campuses right now. We're still waiting on a few more shipments. So, our families have been really, really great. And some of them are kind of bringing their own device right now while we get those devices. But shortly, we will have a device issued from the school to every single student so that everybody has that equitable access to all the great things we're doing. And then, of course, training for our teachers on the new things we're doing, the HMH, the Schoology, all the new programs that we're using to make sure that we can kind of stay in touch and keep our students engaged. And then, of course, I want to send a big shout out to our curricular department here at SST. They've really been burning the midnight oil. They didn't take a summer at all, Inga. I know that they were really putting in the work. And actually, right now, if I'm looking out my window of my office, I can see in the office across the way here, I see some of our curriculum coordinators right now doing trainings with their teachers. We have the curriculum coordinators meeting with the teachers weekly to do constant training, constant getting feedback, helping refine the wheel, making sure that, as good as things are right now, that they're only going to get better and better. Something we believe in is that continuous improvement cycle. It's something we're committed to. And so, I feel like things are solid and I'm happy about it. But I'm excited to see what tomorrow brings, what the near future brings, because all the people here at SST are really giving 110%. And you're thinking mathematically you can't give 110%, but that's not true, Inga, because I saw that drinking cranberry juice actually can increase your ability to perform physical tasks by something like 10% or something like that, right? So I thought,
there you go.
It is possible to do 110% as long as you got cranberry juice, apparently. So interesting side note. I digress.
That is good to know. I think that is a great set of information. It's a lot of detail. I hope that the families who are listening, that it gives them some comfort. But I think to me, the big takeaway is just that SST is fully committed to educating the students in spite of COVID, right? That, whatever, if it takes redesigning the curriculum, if it takes adopting new tools, if it takes, juggling the synchronous and asynchronous learning, if it means getting more devices out to students, basically you guys are going to problem solve and figure out a way to get it done and not just throw up your hands and say, well, we're just going to take the year off.
No way. When the whole COVID thing first started, around spring break last year, we got together and we decided and we issued a statement that said that we're going to do whatever it takes for as long as it takes. And that's something that we're still committed to right now. That's a big part of the SST way, whatever it takes for as long as it takes, because that's what our community deserves.
Yeah. It's for children, and and this ties back to your family story. It's like, why are you so committed to doing it? Because it transforms lives, and it's worth the adults working a little harder, to make sure that kids are getting what they need.
And Inga, I think that's a great point, because at SST we call everybody that's part of our community, we call it the SST family, and just like you do for family is something I was always told as a child, and so. I think that SST really espouses those same values, right? We do for family. And if it was, our own families that were dependent on us for the education, we'd do whatever it takes. You would never give up. You never throw your hands up and say, well, I did my part, or, that's too much trouble. It's not worth it. And so that's why we're willing to go to great expense. We're willing to put in great effort. We're willing to do whatever it takes for as long as it takes, like I say, because that's what you do for family.
Oh, we have a few more comments from Ms. Boette. She says, Bryce says hi.
Well, tell Bryce I said hi too.
And so she's got, so he's going to school in person, and she says she feels safe. And that's a good testimony from, a family that, that, are doing what it takes to make a family feel safe. Like you said, it's that triangle, it's that partnership, right? The school, the student, and the family, and they all need to be working together.
And I appreciate Ms. Boyd returning the favor and making me feel safe. Sometimes I get a little camera shy, I think, but seeing these comments really makes me feel supported by the community out there. So I appreciate you guys too.
Yeah, you've got the team. So I always want, when I talk about a school online, I always want to make sure to do like the call to action. But before we do that, I just want to, do you have any more thoughts, any like coming attractions, any like, things about SST you feel like we haven't covered yet?
Yeah, so Inga, that's a great question. And I think that there is a big thing coming up. Last year, Governor Greg Abbott issued a proclamation at SST's request, calling it Character Education Day, I believe November 16th. And so, we partnered with a bunch of organizations. I'm talking other charter schools, private schools, public ISDs, nonprofit organizations, different companies, you name it. We've really cobbled together a whole coalition of people who believe that character should be embedded into education and that it's part of a complete and well-rounded education. And they say everything's bigger in Texas, and that goes for our Character Day too, because this year, with all the great efforts of SST and our partners, everybody who saw the proclamation of the day and decided that they were going to do things that exhibit great character on that day, Governor Greg Abbott this year has declared that it is no longer Character Education Day, it's Character Education Week. So the week of November 15th through the 21st, I believe, right? That's going to be Character Education Week. And we've got a big commemorative event coming up on November 16th. It's free to attend. We've got a lot of big time names in character education that are going to be speaking. One of our big speakers, one of our featured speakers of the evening is Marvin Berkowitz, Dr. Marvin Berkowitz. And he's a professor of character education out at the University of Missouri St. Louis. And so we've got a lot of big names. And so if you're looking to get inspired to kind of kick off your Character Education Week, and we hope you are, you can definitely find out more about it at thecharacterweek.com. That's thecharacterweek.com. There are many character weeks, but this is the Character Week of Texas. And you can go there, you can get the information, you can click the Eventbrite link, register, it's free, and then you'll get a link to a live stream, a lot like this one, where you'll be able to see all those big speakers. And then we ask that you not only maybe come and see the speeches, but let that inspire you to find ways to maybe get together with friends and family, even if it's virtually, and find ways to really show great character and to practice great character. I think that the more that we can all practice great character, the more we're going to experience the benefits of people having great character in our community, and those benefits are countless. So we're really hopeful that people will turn out to that, and we're also really hopeful that they will participate in our poster drive. Again, you can find more information about that at thecharacterweek.com. And that poster drive is open to students all over the world. Last year it was all the Texas students. This year it's going worldwide. So we're looking forward to see those inspirational posters that we can post places, and hopefully they'll inspire people to commit to character.
Yeah. So I'm going to share for the folks listening. I hope a lot of you are probably already members of the Charter Moms discussion group on Facebook. Here's the link. It's if you search for San Antonio Charter Moms discussion group. We share like reminders of things like so we'll share about the virtual event, the symposium that everyone can participate in, and we'll share about the poster contest. And that way, we're all busy, but if you just get little reminders, and I'm really proud of the tone and like how supportive the group is, because there's families joining and saying like, I don't know what to do. There's school choice now. This wasn't the thing when I was growing up, and then people come in and help each other, and we're all looking for resources to help our students become better learners, and working family character education into our family life is a goal. And I think a lot of folks in the group share that goal as well. So I'm glad that SAT is doing such great things, and I'm glad that we can play a role in getting the word out to more families so we can have a bigger impact.
Oh, thank you for doing it.
And we have some more greetings.
Hey, Mr. Baki, a fellow SST principal. Mr. Baki, the principal of Hill Country campus.
Cool.
If you live out near the Hill Country campus, Mr. Baki, a great guy. I'll vouch for him. If you're interested in SST, give them a call. And, that's the Hill Country campus, our newest school. Like I say, soon they'll be taking 9th grade next year. So even opportunity for high school out there.
That's exciting. I think I've driven by. Are they near the Government Canyon State Natural Area? Is that kind of, are they in that?
They are right off of 410, kind of near 410 and Bandera,
Okay.
near like Shanefield, right off the 410 access road there.
Yeah.
A big, beautiful building, got the blue kind of pillars. Can't miss it if you're driving down that way.
Yeah. And
Oh, Dr. Tech. I'm honored by Dr. Tech, one of our board members, one of the founders of SST. So really, thankful that, his vision is what started this whole thing. From the small seeds of greatness, we're able to grow into what is now 14 schools and soon to be even more, providing more high quality seats to the students of San Antonio. Thanks to the help of like the Breckenridge Foundation, big shout out, big thank you to them. The KLE Foundation, just amazing folks that have helped us to grow to where we are today.
Yeah. And Elsie Rodriguez. And
Elsie, that's speaking of enrollment. Elsie, our resident enrollment guru. If you really need anything about enrollment, she's going to be the hands down #1 person that you could speak to. If you got a question, she's got an answer. But realistically, you might be able to get those answers by even just going to sstschools.org. We've got the information about all our campuses there, and you'll be able to kind of see which ones may be near you, the phone numbers there where you can contact the AROs, we call them, the attendance and recruitment coordinators. They're the ones who are on the campus, and they'll be able to take those phone calls and set up tours with you. Right now, it's virtual tours, but certainly answer any questions you have and make sure that you feel comfortable about making SST your choice for your child's education.
Yeah, I want to make sure, and we mentioned this in the blog post, but like open enrollment is happening now. It started over the weekend, and so open enrollment is the best time to apply, because then you be sure the application gets entered into the lottery, right? So if there's more applications than there are seats at that particular grade and campus, then there's a random drawing to see who gets offers first. And so your best bet to get an offer is to apply during open enrollment. That's why we keep talking about it in the group and on the page. But these are the dates for that, right? And then the lottery is usually right after that in mid-February.
Yeah, it's within about a week of February 10th. And I say that's a great point, Inga. The best time to apply is during this time, because if you don't get a spot, you'll be put on that wait list. Historically, SSTs do have wait lists, but that doesn't mean that you shouldn't try. I mean, hey, nothing worth having is maybe that easy. So definitely you want to apply as soon as possible. If you do apply after February 10th, then your application is going to go on the wait list in the order it's received. So you'll kind of be after all the people that did receive even a wait list spot in the lottery. So really, really a crucial thing.
Yeah. Oh, we're getting more comments. You've got, they're talking about where Mr. Baki's telling us where his campus is. So
good work, Mr. Baki. See, the SST way, if you're struggling for an answer, someone's going to provide it for you. So.
Yeah, I think I saw it driving. So my family, we've done a lot of trips to state parks this year. That's been our like socially distanced adventure. And if we drive out to Hill Country, like we're going to Lost Maples this weekend. I'm really excited about that. And we'll probably drive by SST Hill Country on our way back from going out to see the maple leaves.
Okay, well, there may be lost maples, but hopefully you'll find them.
Yeah, that's true. They're kind of all out there by themselves, but they just like that little valley where the creeks are flowing. So yeah, we're excited about that. So just to remind folks, these are the enrollment dates. So if you like what you've heard about SST, which I mean, I'm ready for a Santa sleigh. I'm ready to for a solar car. I think my kids would be all over that. But if you like those stories about all these these projects that kids do, these amazing principals and teachers, get in there. Here's the link. Applied at sstTX.org. Get the application in, and join the group. Ask questions. Like you said, call the enrollment coordinators. The blog post has phone numbers. The website has phone numbers. Just call, ask questions, set up a virtual tour, and this could be what helps future generations of your family to have the best possible opportunities to do fulfilling work and make a difference in the world.
Yeah, definitely. So I can't say it better. I feel like I'll hang my head on that statement. But I'll say definitely check out sstschools.org. SA Charter Mom's got a great, very helpful enrollment guide. So definitely check that out too. If you're calling the AROs and you're asking, questions, make sure to ask about our makerspace. All our newest schools are being built with this 3,000 square foot makerspace. It's something amazing, and because of COVID, right now we're not utilizing it in the way that really, we would optimally want to. But we're working on a lot of innovative things to work around that, and soon it'll be back to its former glory, and we'll have those maker spaces kicking on all 8 cylinders. So definitely make sure that's part of your virtual tour.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to visiting some of these new campuses because just the drawing, the renderings I'm seeing of them, they look fabulous, and I've been cheering for you guys, and I'm really excited to see the new campuses open and the family of SST keep growing. So,
all right.
Okay, well, Abel, it's been great having you as a guest on Charter Moms Chats, and I look forward to talking to you again soon.
It's great to have been had, Inga. I really appreciate this time. Always a pleasure talking to you, Inga. It's a fun time for me. You invite me back anytime, I'll be here with bells on.
All right, looking forward to, and maybe an elf costume, right?
Hey, don't threaten me with a good time, Inga.
All right, take care.
All right, bye-bye.